Hello my beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's video. This is all about a deep transformative message that is meant to find you right now, and it is meant to change your life forever for the better. I'm so excited to get into this video with you. I hope you are too. Quick little special announcement before we hop in. If you are looking for some super high quality, authentic gemstone crystal bracelets, we hand make these and they are made with gold fill, so they do not tarnish. I wear mine in the shower, I wear mine to bed, in the ocean, everything, and they last. They are so beautiful. We also have this brand new pink opalite one, which is my absolute favorite. I love this. It comes in a set. You can also get it on its own. We also have other sets that are under $100, sets that are over, whatever matches your budget and what you're looking for. We just have such cool stuff, and I wear mine literally every day. Love the crystal properties. You can read about them online to see which ones match whatever you're trying to manifest or whatever that you are looking for. So all that info will be linked down below with also a special discount code. So all that info, again, linked down below, and I'm sending you so much love, and let's go ahead and get back into today's pick a card reading. So as you can see, I have 5 different groups in front of me. We have group number 1, which is also associated with this blue flower. Group number 2, we have this beautiful purple flower. Group number 3, we have this red and orange rose. Group number 4, we have this beautiful yellow flower. And then group number 5, we have this purplish pink rose. So take a moment, pause the video if you need to, in order to find the pile or the flower that you are the most drawn towards, because that's going to be the message that is calling to your soul right now. Even if you're drawn to multiple groups, you can check out multiple groups as well, because there may just be multiple messages for you in today's video. But once you're done choosing your pile, you can scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's going to be linked to your specific card, so that you can skip right ahead to your personal prediction. And if you need more time to choose your pile, you can of course pause the video in order to take more time and then skip down below to where those timestamps are, so that you can skip right ahead to your prediction, all about that deep transformative message that is meant to change your life for the better. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. All right, so group number 1, if you chose this pile, this is going to be a reading, so let's get right into it. Okay, group number 1. Very interesting message that I feel coming through for you. So we have the card of miracles, compassion, and then wisdom. Spirit wants to bring up a particular relationship in your life that may have some kind of maybe conflict, disagreements, or a relationship where you're not quite seeing eye to eye. Spirit wants to talk about that relationship in your life right now. And they are trying to give a message of using compassion and doing reflection before approaching this sort of relationship, before approaching whatever issues you may be facing in this relationship, or before deciding, this is how I'm going to act. Spirit really wants you to take some time to reflect and to also approach the situation with love. Imagine that you are, in the other person's shoes. And I know how I know how that sounds. It's like we've heard that a million times. Like, imagine yourself in the other person's shoes. But Spirit really wants you to think about being in the other person's shoes and maybe using some form. Spirit wants you to know that if you use love and compassion with how you handle any relationship or any situation in your life, if you use love and compassion, that is where you're going to notice the best outcomes. You're also going through a time of higher learning right now, where there's going to be a lot of downloads and a lot of wisdom coming through within this lesson. It's basically a lesson that your soul is learning right now. And it's going to prepare you for a lot more in your life. This is actually going to set you up for major success in your future and in your future relationships. I'm hearing that you won't ever have to deal with this issue again later on down the line. And it's also going to lead you to major success in your life as well. There is a deep learning that you're going through right now, and it's also going to shift your path in a certain way. It's going to connect you to a path that you're meant to go down. But Spirit is wanting you to know that in order to solve this situation in the best way possible, love and compassion is going to open that door for you. Using love and compassion with how you speak, how you explain yourself, how you explain your feelings, being in control of your emotions, being in control of your reactions, and keeping it in alignment with love and compassion, you are going to notice the best outcomes come from that. And this situation will clear up much faster and will have a much better outcome. Either way, I see you going through a good outcome, but if you want this to resolve faster, utilizing love and compassion will get you there much faster. Let's see what else Spirit wants to talk about today. So group 1, what else is Spirit wanting to talk about today for group 1? Ooh, the High Priestess being reversed here. Spirit also wants you to open up and talk about your feelings. Some of you, I feel like, have been hiding what you truly think and what you truly feel when it comes to people in your life. It's almost like you've been repressing certain things because maybe we just don't know how to approach the situation. So we maybe repress our truest desires, or we repress our authentic truth in order to come across in a certain way to people. We may be a people pleaser, for example. We may not want to upset others. We may not want to hurt their feelings. Spirit is saying that using love and compassion will allow you to open up that throat chakra. I feel like your throat chakra, you've been repressing some things, swallowing some things, and not wanting to talk about them. And it's so interesting that you chose this blue flower, because the blue, that color blue, resonates with the throat chakra. And then we have a bunch of blue in this High Priestess card that's very much similar to the blue of that flower. That talks about your throat chakra. And I'm also noticing this gray color. The gray and the blue is really sticking out to me between both of these. The gray can indicate that it's underactive. We're not utilizing it as much as we should. The gray can also indicate that we have some things that are sort of dimming our light a little bit. If you think about like the color gray, it's like a darker version of the white kind of light. And the white light indicates like an open channel. And when it's gray, it can indicate that we have been dimming our light a little bit. So in what ways have you been dimming your light? In what ways have you been repressing yourself and your truth in order to maybe fit in order to not step on any toes, in order to, manipulate the outcome? Spirit has a message for you about opening up. You are going to notice huge shifts in your life. And I feel like part of you has maybe been scared of the shifts that might come if you fully express yourself. But Spirit's saying that anything that's expressed from a place of love and compassion is going to be received better. And even if changes do come out of that, it will always lead you somewhere good. Even if it may cause, some friction at first, the outcome of where it's leading you, if you express yourself from a place of love and compassion and you honor yourself, it will always lead you somewhere positive. So Spirit really wants you to know that right now. It's important to express yourself, right? Like, imagine having a kid and raising them and telling them like repress your feelings, repress them, don't ever talk about them. Or, imagine that your own child came to you and was like, I'm having problems in this relationship and I don't feel like I can express myself. Would you be like, no, hold it in, suck it up, hold it in? Like, we would never teach our child that, but for some reason we'll allow ourselves to be that way, right? So see yourself as a beautiful love, a beautiful light. Your feelings matter. Your emotions matter. Your thoughts matter. Right? So what's been going on in your mind? Using love and compassion, even using love and compassion on yourself. If your thoughts tend to be negative sometimes, not every single thought that we think is true, right? So using compassion and love with yourself and sifting through, what is it that you really feel? What is it that you want to express? What is it that you may need to clear, right? Let's see what else we get for you. We also have the Six of Swords being reversed. I think some of you are scared of like rocking the boat. You want things to stay good. You want things to stay smooth. You're afraid of rocking the boat. I feel like you really try to avoid conflict at all costs. And I feel like Spirit wants you to know that we're either, if we don't express our emotions, we're rocking our own boat internally, because we're going to be going through emotional big waves, right? We're rocking our own boat internally without expressing those emotions. And that will eventually lead to a big buildup to where we can't hold it in anymore. So it's best to be expressive as things come up, with love and compassion, of course. That way, we only have to go through small ripples every now and then, rather than waiting for something to build up to where it's like a tsunami and we can't hold it in anymore, right? We all know that when we continue to repress things, they build up over time. Spirit really wants to call you and invite you to open your voice more. And you can do so again with love and compassion. That's the beautiful way of opening the voice. That is the harmonized and balanced way of opening the voice, is using love and compassion. We can express disappointment. We can express anger. We can express sadness. We can express any emotion with love and compassion, right? Sometimes we forget that though. Sometimes we don't realize that. And Spirit is really calling you to open up that side of yourself, because it's going to be liberating. It is going to free you. It is going to allow you to shine your light at the brightest, because you won't be holding on to things anymore. Spirit says it is okay to rock the boat sometimes. And we can lessen those waves, especially if we fear a lot of those waves. We can lessen it by using love and compassion. And it will lead us to a much better place and outcome. We also have the Nine of Swords being reversed here. This card indicates that whatever it is that's currently stressing you out will fade if we express ourselves. Because either way, we're going to be holding it in internally. We're either going to be doing this, or we may be just rocking the boat temporarily, and then it'll eventually smooth out. No ripples in the water, no waves last forever. If you look at a lake, there can be a day where it's stormy, it's very ripply, it's very the boat's rocking within the lake, but eventually there comes a time where that smooths out. Even in the ocean, there's some days where there's massive waves, but then there's also some days where it's pretty small and not that significant. So there's something that you may be holding on internally that Spirit wants you to know. It is okay to express. It is okay to let it out. Holding it in will cause anxiety. It'll cause stress. It'll cause unnecessary worry. So either way, whether we express it or not, we're still actually going through the chaos. But when we don't express it, we go through a bunch of chaos internally. And I feel like you've maybe possibly grown up in an environment where you had to handle a lot of your own emotions. And so you kind of got used to doing everything on your own. handling all of your emotions on your own, and you became good at maybe repressing things and dealing with your own emotions rather than expressing it and fixing it in your external world, Spirit is inviting you to begin doing that. And look at our outcome card here. We have the Empress. When you begin honoring those emotions, this will put you to a place of serenity, abundance, radiance. The Empress card is such a nurturing card. You'll be nurturing yourself, being able to be more abundant yourself. Like, look at the difference between these two cards. When we're holding on to all of our emotions, thoughts, worries, feelings, and we're not getting them out, we end up manifesting a world that kind of looks like this for us. But when we can express ourselves, when we can nurture our emotions, when we can feel okay with our emotions and know that we are worthy, we're worthy of being able to express ourselves. Our emotions, our feelings are valid. We deserve to speak about them. When we can sit in that chair, in that throne, this is the outcome of that, right? So let's shuffle some more cards. Let's see what else Spirit has to say for you. So group number 1, opening up the throat chakra is that main message here. What else does Spirit want you to know? What other deep transformative messages does Spirit have for you today? We have the new beginnings card, the butterfly. There's a deep transformation that's waiting to happen for you. You're going through a cocoon stage right now. And look at all the blue that we have. If you see blue around anywhere, this is Spirit's message of opening up the throat chakra. That's what Spirit really wants you to know. Also, if you've been seeing the number 44, this is about building a solid foundation. What foundation do you want to build for your future? Do you want a foundation where you can open up, you can freely express yourself, where you're honoring yourself? Like, what foundation are you building for yourself and for your future? Are you building a foundation where you hide all of your thoughts and feelings and you don't feel comfortable expressing them? Do you want to build that foundation for your future? Do you want to continue building that? Or do you want to begin building that foundation where you feel comfortable to spread your wings, where you feel comfortable to fly? Spirit, I'm also seeing a sense of freedom. Spirit wants to talk about your freedom, being free of a worry, being more free of anxiety. Your thoughts have been holding you back from something. The worry of not being able to express has actually been holding you back from taking some kind of action in your life that you deeply desire to take. There's an action that I feel like you deeply desire to begin or to take. It's been a calling that you're feeling, the High Priestess. There's been a calling that you have internally that you would love to spread your wings and dive into. But it's almost like we've been closed off from a fear or a stressor or some sort of anxiety. It's almost like you're closing off, again, part of your light. Maybe we're scared of judgment. We're scared of maybe what other people would think. We're scared of rocking the boat, right? We're scared of rocking the boat. How do you want to live your life? We incarnated on this earth to experience. What do you want to experience? Right? The only judgment that matters is how you judge yourself, how you think of yourself. And of course, it's good to have discernment of, what's a bad action, what's a good action. am I doing good? Or, what are your intentions behind things? If your intentions are good, and, maybe just some people disagree, we're never going to please everybody, no matter what it is that we do. No matter what we do, there's no pleasing everyone. There's always going to be somebody who's like, look at that. Or like, are you serious right now? There's always going to be somebody who doesn't resonate. So we might as well be doing the things that we really enjoy and focusing on creating a life that we love. Would you rather create a life for yourself that other people approve of? Or would you rather create a life for yourself that you're like, I love this life. I love the life I created. Or would you rather be like, does so-and-so over there like my life that I made for myself? Do they finally approve of me? Like, what perspective do we want? Right? At the end of our life, what do we want to say that we've done? Do we want to say that we lived just for others and we were able to please the people in our life? Or do we want to say that we lived a life where we were so happy and we're very pleased with what we've done? Where do we want to be, right? And of course, doing things for other people makes us feel so good. But at the same time, we can't dedicate 100% of our life to pleasing others. We also have to focus on pleasing ourselves. That's what fills our cup. That's what gives us the life force energy that allows us to do more, that allows us to be more. It allows us to inspire others. We also have the card of prosperity. I'm seeing a career opportunity of some kind, possibly like a career shift, or you know what? An interesting message here. Just as this line says, as this tree grows, so strong, so fine. The tree is yourself, right? As this tree grows, as you grow, so strong in yourself, so fine, so may I prosper from the universal divine. As you become stronger in yourself, the universe right now, Spirit wants you to know that the amount of prosperity that you are going to attract into your life is uncomparable to where you are right now. Spirit is giving you the message of become strong in yourself. Call on your own inner strength. You have so much strength within already, so much, but it's untapped into. Fears may be stopping us from tapping into that internal strength. Fears of judgment, fears of rejection, fears of rocking the boat may cause us to close off our power and our strength. So you're actually stronger than you may know, but it's untapped into. Let's see what else Spirit has to say for you. Truth number 1. What else does Spirit want you to know? Manifest. There's possibly something that you've been trying to manifest into your life, but it's had a hard time coming into your life because, sorry, it's not focusing. Let's see if we can focus this. Because of these fears that have been holding you back. You may not think that it's related to, expressing yourself, putting your thoughts out there, but it is. Because once you start gaining the confidence to put your real thoughts out there, it is going to have ripple effects to the other power and strength that you're able to tap into within you that's been sort of at rest. So the card of surrender is really powerful because when we surrender, we say, okay, I'm not going to fight this anymore. I'm not going to, I feel like you've been putting up a fight with yourself almost, putting up a fight to repress these things, repress these emotions, to forget about them, to move on from them. But when we surrender and we say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to fight this anymore. I'm not going to try to fight it off. I'm not going to try to repress it anymore. I'm not going to try to do anything. I'm just going to let it be. And if that requires me speaking it, if that requires me to express myself, I'm going to do it. That's when we surrender to that. And there's so much power in surrender because we stop fighting and standing in our own way. There's part of you that may be standing in your own way when it comes to your success and what you can create for yourself. And Spirit wants you to know that you have so much more power within you. So much more. I am also seeing that as you do this, as you become so strong in yourself, as you tap into that power that you have within, there is like a healing that's going to happen where your roots become really strong. And as your roots become really strong, that's like your foundation. There's going to be a lot less anxiety, worries about your security, worries about your future. That's going to fade away as you tap into that strength and you overcome these fears by facing them and allowing yourself to be more expressive, to not fear rocking the boat, because you know that sometimes the boat needs to be rocked a little bit. Sometimes, in order to get to our destination, we're going to need to go through some bumpy waters. Sometimes life requires that of us. So let's go ahead and see some other cards that we have for you. I feel like pulling out, this deck. Let's go into this one. Group one. What other messages from Spirit do we have? Air. Ooh, that's of communication. The air is vital and it also represents communication and thinking. So breathing deep, entering into life, exchange of life-bringing energies. When we close off our air, where can I put this card where you're gonna see it? I'm gonna put it over there. When we close off our air, which is also our communication, our thinking, when we close that off, we close off some of our life force energy. We are denying ourselves. We're denying the energy that we feel. But when we can express it and we're open to conversation with love and compassion, we are able to allow the flow of our life force energy. It is so essential. Spirit wants you to know how essential it is. Okay, we're also going to pull one card from this deck, and then we're going to get into our last few different things that we're going to do here. So, inner strength. We all know what that one is indicating. Inner strength. Allow the wave to be free. Look at rocking the boat again. We have this big wave. Don't be afraid of the big wave. Yes, it's going to cause things up. It's almost like, have you ever been swimming and got caught in a wave and it just like tumbles you around? Don't be afraid of the tumble. The tumble is bringing you where you're meant to be. The tumble of things shifting up in our life is bringing you where you're truly meant to be. All right, so let's go ahead and roll our Astro dice to get any last info here. We have Pluto in Leo in the 6th house. The 6th house. The 6th house is where we have our service to others, the work that we're doing. Pluto is a transformation. Leo is about your confidence, your light. This is about bringing your light to be of service and realizing that if you express yourself authentically, it's not just self-serving, it's serving other people as well. Because think about it in a backwards context. When someone's honest with you, even if it's hard, you know that that's also them being respectful of you. Honesty. We would love to have honesty shared with us, right? So when we're honest, when we respect our light, we're also actually respecting other people's light as well. So So sometimes we're scared of, sorry, my throat's all scratchy today, but sometimes we're scared of expressing ourselves because we're scared of dimming other people's light. We're scared of stepping on other people's toes. We're scared of rocking their boat. But in the bigger picture of things, when we are expressive of our light, when we embrace our light to its fullest, we are actually also embracing other people's light as well. That's the weird secret behind it all. So keep that in mind. When you liberate yourself, you're also liberating others. And you're also giving others permission to shine their light to its fullest as well when we allow ours to shine. Not that others need our permission, and not that you need anybody's permission to shine your light, but when you shine yours, you inspire others to shine theirs to their fullest as well. Let's see, any last cards for my group number ones? Let's see here. There's like 3 of them that are upright. So we have idle hours, uncertainty, and cleanse. So let's start with the cleanse one here. This one says, wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glades. Cleanse, let it go, anything that you're holding on to. It's time to wash it clean. We're going to feel so much more refreshed as we express and open. We also have idle hours. This one says, take some time out to lie on the emerald grass. So even if we need to think about things for some time, meditate on them, that is a great thing. We also have uncertainty coming up. The shades of gray, ooh, gray, that color's coming up again. Within the fog will eventually lift. Sorry, my camera cut out there. But yeah, so basically the color gray is coming up again within the uncertainty card. And that's pointing at when we're holding on to stuff and it's murking up our own energy, it's creating a difficult time to feel into our own intuition. It creates difficult times for us. We're not able to see very clearly, right? And that's what that fog represents. So when we're holding on to things, when we're pressing things, that kind of creates that fog. So anyway, this is talking about how things are going to become very clear to you as you begin to cleanse and clear yourself and the things that you've been holding on to. So that is what we have here, group number 1. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up for me. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 2, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be a reading, so let's get right into it. Okay, group 2. I had to pick up these cards because when I looked at them, I was like, wow. Look at all these 4s that we have coming up on these cards. There is so many 4s. If you've been seeing 4 around, then wow, has Spirit ever been speaking to you with that angel number? If not, you may start noticing it lately. And what Spirit's message, whenever you see the number 4 around, if you see it repeating, if you see it often, 4s indicate that you are building something very reliable. You are attracting more money to you. And there may be a career opportunity or some sort of long-term thing that you are building that will have a very high payoff. It's something that you're very meant to do, and it's something that'll be very reliable. And Spirit's also saying to trust the process of whatever's happening in your life right now, because it's bringing you to where you're meant to be. It's bringing you where you're meant to be rooted, and Spirit is giving you the message of it's going to be successful, you are going to be abundant, and to let worries, go away for now. That's what the 4s indicate. Sorry if my throat's all kind of funny. Sometimes in the morning, before I start talking, I just my throat lately has been sort of a little bit more, I don't know, raspy in the mornings, but it's okay. So, focus, rebirth, and mastery. Spirit's message for you. There is something that you are so meant to do. So meant to do. Spirit wants you to bring your focus to it. I feel like there's been something in your life lately that has been calling your attention. Maybe a new interest of yours. Maybe an idea that kind of excites you. but there's something in your life that's been calling your focus or pulling you in a certain direction, and Spirit is like, yes, yes, go in that direction. You are meant to do that. It may require some kind of rebirth because your current self may not be in full alignment with this new direction. Like, it may require a new beginning, perhaps. It may require ending old patterns or spending less time doing the things that we used to do and then spending more time doing this other new thing. Either way, your attention is being called to shift. And Spirit is saying that, wow, if you focus deeply on this thing, it is going to cause very deep transformations for you. If you dive into learning more about it, if you dive into developing this skill, applying it to your life, practicing whatever this is, if you dive into it, it is going to deeply transform you. And I also see you, getting to some level of mastery here. If you're doubting your skills at all, group 2, Spirit wants you to know that you have the ability within you to be a master in this area. You have master energy within you. So if you're doubting your skills or your abilities in any way, shape, or form, please take this message to know that you are completely capable of becoming a master at whatever this is. Okay? And a master is someone who's also always open to learning more. A master is never somebody who sees themselves as, the top of the mountain, let's say. They never see themselves as a master. The moment you see yourself as like, oh, I've mastered this, you've fallen way back to the bottom, right? So the fact that you may not see yourself as a master is actually a great sign that you have the capabilities of becoming a master. A master is always learning. A master is always growing, even though they may be at, the top of their craft. They may be highly admired by others, highly looked up to, but they still keep an open ear to learn more. There's never-ending opportunities to always learn more, no matter what you do, right? So anyway, back to you though. Bringing your focus to this is going to cause such a deep transformation for you, and the opportunity to truly master whatever this is, to become so good. I feel like there's such a big opportunity for you within your career, group number 2. There's such a big opportunity in your career right now. And it can set the stage. I'm hearing like it can really set the stage, going and diving deeper into this, putting more of your focus towards it. Spirit is like, yes, put more of your focus towards it. Allow the rebirth to happen. Allow the transformation to happen. Sometimes we're scared of transformation because we're like, oh, if I dive more into it, that means I have to let go of this old thing and this old thing. And we may be familiar with it. It may be something that has gotten us to where we are now. But I feel like it's time for us to sort of shift our focus a little bit and put more time towards whatever has been calling our attention lately. And again, you have the abilities to master this area. So please keep that in mind. You have that ability within you that Spirit really is wanting to make clear. So let's see what else we get for you with the tarot. If I can actually shuffle them properly. Let's see. I did not shuffle these very well this time. That's okay. There's a couple of them that just fell on the floor though, so let's see what we have. We have the Emperor and then the 7 of Pentacles being reversed. Ooh. So the Emperor, it is time to sit on a new throne, to realize that you can conquer any challenges that come up for you. And the Emperor can also indicate that in your future, there's champion energy. There's some sort of champion energy where you're going to, climb to the top. And if you have that dedication, if you have that mindset of, I want to be my best, I want to climb to the top of this, I want to put my heart and soul into becoming the best I can be in whatever it is that you're doing, your outcome is going to be so great, so high. I'm hearing the words high achiever. If you point your focus upwards, there's no limit to what you can do. It's about pointing your focus upwards. Spirit also has a message of don't look downwards. So whatever we focus on, we bring into our life. If we focus on the idea of what if everything goes wrong, our mind will take us on that train of thought, and we won't perceive of actions because our thoughts help us, see what actions we're going to take, right? If we're always putting our thoughts towards, what if things go wrong? What if this doesn't happen? That's where our train of thought is going, and every action that we take is going to come out of that thought form. And how can we take action to be our best when we keep thinking about our lowest, right? So Spirit also wants to bring your focus to a higher place. Spirit's message for you is to focus on, how can I be my best? How can I do better than yesterday? How can I improve myself? How can I improve whatever it is that I'm doing? And if you reach any challenge, focus on the outcome that you want. Focus on the path after the challenge. The more that you focus towards the direction that you want to go in, the more that your action is going to be in alignment with that, and the more that you are going to completely rebirth your entire life. You're going to have this emperor and mastery energy. I'm seeing being a leader. Be your own leader. There's a huge message here of do not look for others for approval. Be your own leader. What do you want? What is the outcome you want to reach? Lead yourself there. Be your own leader. Guide yourself. Don't wait for help from other people. And sometimes help from people is very nice, and sometimes it is necessary. However, I'm seeing a bunch of independence and leadership within your particular reading. So Spirit wants you to focus on your independence and your leadership to bring you to where you want to go. It is going to cause a big rebirth, a big reset within you. I'm hearing 4 months from now, there's going to be a big reset for you. April is also coming up as a month of transformation. Do not be disappointed if certain things take off slowly, or if you've had disappointments in your past. Do not let them hold you back in the present.
Okay, I found this on the web for certain things take off slowly, or if you've had disappointments in your past, do not. Check it out.
Did you guys just hear that? Siri just turned on. I don't think I said anything to deal with Siri for her to turn on and to start doing that, but I guess that message needed to be repeated. I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but my iPad just turned on and Siri repeated what I said and was like searching it on the web of don't be disappointed if things take off slowly. Also, don't look at, don't put all your focus towards things that didn't work out or things that may not work out. Focus on what are the things that we need to do to make the most abundance, to reach to the highest. What do we need to improve today? Right? So depending on where your focus goes, we can focus on the areas that we need to improve, but let's focus on improving them rather than focusing on how not good enough it is. Right? Does that make sense? So instead of looking at, a cup that's almost empty, instead of being like, oh, it's almost empty. Look at that. There's like barely anything in there. Ugh, that sucks. Instead, look at that cup and be like, okay, where can I fill this? How can I fill this to its highest? Do you see the difference in those attitudes and those perspectives? Spirit really is bringing a focus towards don't get so caught up in what may not be working out. Don't get so caught up in what may be moving slowly right now. Don't get caught up if you don't see progress right away. Keep looking at how can I improve? How can I create more progress today? Even if it's just 1%. Because it will become exponential growth over time. And Spirit right now really wants to give you the message that You have the ability to succeed completely. Mastery in the Emperor. Like, I can't pick out two other cards that explain the idea of success and mastery than those two cards. But it's about being a leader, being independent, not waiting for other people to tell you what to do or how to do it. This is about you just stepping up into that leadership position and say, like, okay, if I'm the leader, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn? How do I step up? Ace of Wands here. Follow that inspiration. Any inspiration that you get is meant to lead you somewhere. It's meant to help you grow. There is a seed right now that's completely sprouting in you. And this seed has the ability to become an entire forest. But it depends on how we nurture it. Right? Let's see. Ooh, a bunch of cards just fell out, but there's one that's right side up, so we're gonna go with that. We have the Death card, Transformation. Ooh, love that one coming up. I think your life is about to greatly shift and change. If there's transformations that are happening for you right now where certain things are sort of dying out, let's say, certain aspects of our lives are just not what they used to be. They're not giving us what it used to. It's time to transform those things. Those things served you up until this point, but now it's time to allow them to transform. If we're not seeing the same results from something, it either means that we need to revise our approach to make it abundant again, but there's some sort of transformation that needs to happen. We may need to transform whatever this is, or just transform our lives, have a rebirth. It's so interesting that we have the rebirth card and then death, because both of those talk about a rebirth. Death is a rebirth process. Whenever that card comes up, it talks about a deep transformation. I cannot tell you the deepness that I feel about the transformations that you're about to make. And it's also interesting that we have another 4 that I just noticed, because the Emperor is the number 4 as well. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. The Death card is also 13, which together equals a 4. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing 4s around, but this number is very prominent for you. You are meant to build something very solid right now. So ask yourself, what do you value? What do you want in your life? And be the leader. Get yourself there. Start taking action. Put your focus on it. At least, I'm hearing at least 2 hours a day. Put your focus towards it. How can you put your focus towards this new area of your life? And I'm hearing to put, a decent chunk of time towards it, because this is going to be your new path. This is going to be your new path. It's not just some side hobby. I'm really hearing that your path is transforming in a deep way. So, however you receive that message, that is what we see right there. So let's go ahead and shuffle the next few cards to get some more info for you. Group 2, what else do we have going on? What is another deep transformative message for group 2? I'm hearing let go of procrastination, let go of distractions, maybe even keep a journal and write down like, okay, what are my common distractions and how can I minimize those? And what do I need to switch to focusing on instead? I'm hearing that honing your focus is going to shift you so deeply. We also have the health card coming up. So I don't know if some of you have been maybe neglecting your health. Spirit, for one, wants you to put a deep focus and dedication towards your health, your well-being. There may be a deep transformation coming up for you within your health as well, since we have, the death and the rebirth card. I'm hearing that if you are experiencing any sort of health issues, it's time to focus deeply on transforming those. How can you heal yourself? How can you lead yourself towards healing? Health, I'm also hearing, is a card indicating your mental health as well, and becoming the master of your mentality, your focus. Some of you, I'm hearing that maybe there was brain fog, memory issues, like having a hard time remembering things or having a hard time staying focused mentally. If some of you have been going through that, I'm hearing that that's going to fade and that you're going to be learning ways of keeping more focus. And I'm hearing a specific thing. So if you've been dealing with like, it's maybe like difficulty when it comes to mental focus, create a peak emotion. When you can create a very heightened emotional state, you will remember things very quickly and easily. If you can create a heightened emotional state around it. Because if you think about it, an easy one to think about is think about a really scary time in your life or a hard time. We remember that with clarity because it's a peak emotion. Also think about one of the best times of your life. It's much easier to recall that memory because it was a peak emotion. So if you want to improve your memory, work on creating more peak emotions and focus on the good ones, of course. So when you're wanting to remember something, if you're wanting to increase your mental focus, if you're wanting to like read a book, learn a new skill, learn piano, but you notice that you're getting distracted and it's hard for you to hone in on the energy, maybe focus on what you want your outcome to be. Focus on that feeling, create that peak emotion of like, oh, wouldn't that be so cool if I like finish this entire book and imagine that it transformed my entire life. And then it's going to get you into that peak emotion of like, I really want to read and I really want to remember what I'm reading. Creating an environment that creates a beautiful atmosphere that's different than your normal atmosphere will help you remember. It'll help create more mental clarity. So I'm just hearing all those things as like suggestions if you've been going through that or dealing with that. We also have courage. So the courage card, sorry, I'm like so far away from like where these cards are, so I'm like throwing them to their spot. But the courage card, if there's certain fears that have held you back before, this is time to like punch through that old wall that kept you stuck. You have so much power within you, power and the ability to really master this new area of your life and the areas that you want to master. This is about having that courage, break through those old walls, break through those old barriers. Realize that you have the ability to heal whatever it is that you're currently dealing with or facing. You have the ability to heal it. The health card coming up, you have that ability, and I feel like you're going to be getting ideas and epiphanies around that. That is going to be healed. It is going to go through a major transformation to the point where I'm looking at this and it looks like you're coming out of whatever this health, either mental or physical or emotional health sort of hindrance that you've had. I'm seeing that transforming and you being liberated. Huge liberation energy within your health. It is time to focus though, not put it off. I'm also hearing don't put off your health. I feel like some of you have been thinking about like, oh, hey, I really need to focus on improving that area of my life. But then maybe we didn't really take much action. Spirit is saying focus. What do you need to focus on right now? What are the top things that you are being called to focus on? Health is one of them. Let's focus on it. Let's heal it. Let's maybe deep dive into learning how we can heal that. Taking action towards that. Also, putting your focus on this new calling of yours. Spend time in that area. It is time to transform. Your whole life right now is about transformation on such a deep level. I can't even. It's the energy that I feel behind it is so powerful. So powerful. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. I'm really feeling this card. We have versatility. So learning how to become more versatile. Also with versatility, realize that you're not bound by who you currently are and who you've been. You are not bound by that. Spirit really has another message for you that you can transform yourself very deeply into your dream self. Also, anything that you're inspired by, when you see like, different aspects of someone and you're like, ooh, that's so inspiring. Oh, I'd love to be that way. That's so cool. I love that. When you recognize it, and it resonates so deep with you in that way, that's an indication that that is who you are on a deep level. That's why it resonates with you. Because resonance is when two matching vibrations amplify each other. When you feel amplified by somebody else's way of being about who they are, and you're like, oh, that's so amazing. That's because it's resonating with you. Okay? So realize that you are a very versatile being, and you can shift into the highest version of yourself. And I feel like this shift for you right now, you are becoming the highest version of yourself. You are stepping into that right now. And in 4 months, you're going to have the deepest transformation that you've had in years. One of the deepest transformations. I'm hearing that this is the deepest transformation that you've had over the last 10 years. This will be the deepest in a very positive way, because you are stepping up to a high leadership position where you are leading your life, becoming the master of your life. And I feel like, again, you're mastering some kind of skill or some sort of knowledge. We also have the card of self-love coming up. So this is a time where you're also meant to focus on loving yourself more. Just to point out the obvious. Also with this card, I feel like the transformations that you're going to be making inevitably will make you really begin to love yourself. Because instead of kind of repeating old habits and patterns that maybe we weren't so satisfied with, the way that you are transforming yourself is going to bring out a sense of self-love, because you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm really inspired by who I am, who I'm being, which you have the ability to become anything that you're inspired by. You have the ability to become that, to be that. I'm seeing you stepping up into this position where you're inspiring yourself, which is naturally, inevitably going to bring out this sense of self-love, because you're like, ooh, I really like myself. I'm excited to wake up in the morning. I'm excited to be me. I'm excited to be me. And again, this is coming out because of the health transformations that you're going to be making, and realizing that you're versatile and you can shift, you can change. You are not bound by your current experience. And you have the ability to transform, but it's about focusing on how do we want to transform, and focusing on, okay, how do I become that, right? So when the cup is like slightly empty and we're looking at what we're missing, instead of saying, oh, I'm missing all those things, that really sucks. That's awful. Instead, we look at it from the perspective of, oh, I'm missing that. Okay, let's go get it. Let's go make it happen. Let's go fill it up. That perspective will bring you to your highest. I'm also hearing a practice of meditation, of embodying who you desire to be, will massively shift you. I cannot even begin to describe the feeling that I am getting, by the way, of the shift that you're going to be making. It is such a shift, and you may not notice, because it's not going to be such a big, like, massive, like, just flip over one day. This is something that's sort of accumulating exponentially over a number of days, weeks. When you look back on your old self, even 4 months from now, you're going to be like, wow, I've come a long way. Check in with yourself 4 months from now. Maybe even create a reminder on your phone to look back at your life 4 months ago and to see how far that you've come. Even look at your life already 4 years ago. Where were you 4 years ago? Where were you in 2019 versus where you are right now? What has improved in your life? What have you manifested in your life? Realize that you can make even bigger shifts when you focus and deliberately create and deliberately choose where you're aiming, right? Imagine the amount of transformations you can make from that place. So I know I've been going off here in this reading. We're going to shuffle one more deck, actually 2 more decks. I have 2 more decks to shuffle, and then we're also going to do a little bit of Astro Dice to end off the reading. So let's see, any last messages from Spirit today? Let's see, what are these 2 cards that flipped around? Also, those are kind of wanting to come out too. Let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. I'm also going to restart my camera just so that it doesn't cut out. Okay. Cool. We are back. So transcendence, there is an overcoming, a massive overcoming of your old self, the old things that were holding you back. You are transcending that. You are going to be so high above your old self. We also have waves of change. Not even surprised that that card is coming up. If you're going through massive shifts right now, or if you're noticing a bit of like a chaotic energy in your life, or if you do notice that at any point in time, realize that those are just the waves of change that are helping you transcend your old self. They're helping you transcend your old life so that you can raise higher and become the best, so that you can become the emperor, the mastery, the courage. We also have Atlantean dream. Some of you maybe feel in yourself like you are connected to Atlantis in some way, shape, or form. Some of you may be feeling that. And some of you may have felt that like through your childhood or something like that. Like, oh, Atlantis. I'm feeling like you are sort of fulfilling like a more magical aspect of yourself. There's a dream that you're meant to fulfill that other people may not believe in. Other people may be like, what are you shooting for? Like, what are you doing? What are you going after? Who are you becoming? Like, what? Some people may not believe in it. It may just seem like a fairy tale dream to them. But this is why Spirit is giving you a message of you stepping up to that leadership position, not waiting for other people to guide you or tell you how to do it, because other people may look at your dreams and see them as fluff, or they just don't get them the way that you do. They don't feel them or see them the way that you do. This is why you're meant to lead. Just lead. Don't ask questions. Don't ask other people's opinions. Just lead. Lead. Focus on, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to improve? How do I become my best? How do I do this? Be a leader. We also have celestial waters. This deals with a cleansing. Cosmic energy is a word that's coming to my head right now. Cosmic energy. Manifesting. Oh my gosh. I just got an interesting message of using water manifestation. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll have one of my videos linked down below where I talk about what water manifestation is. It is such a powerful manifestation practice. You obviously don't need to do it to manifest your dreams or desires, but it is a really helpful tool and method for manifestation. So I'll have that link down below because I just got that image in my head when reading Celestial Waters. But this is also a big cleanse. I'm hearing also a message from Spirit to take a bath or shower and feel it rinsing you clean. Feel and almost imagine like you're a snake shedding its old skin and rebirthing as the highest, most powerful, most amazing version of yourself. And if you keep your focus, your energy and your time towards that highest self that you are becoming, the amount of transformations that you are going to make over these next 4 months is huge. And it's going to continue to climb higher even afterwards. Whew! What a message! Group 2. Let's see. Any last cards that we have for you before going into our Astro Dice? Also, I feel like just rolling the Astro Dice right now. Let's see what we get. Let's see. We have Mars. Ooh, the planet of action in Gemini. What are your thoughts? Where have your thoughts been leading you? Oh, in the 11th house, the world. So how do you want to impact the world? This is also about taking action, regardless of what people say, to be your own person, to not be afraid of standing out and being weird. That's very much Gemini in the 11th house. Don't be afraid to stand out and be weird, be yourself. We also have the card of patience coming through. This one says, everything can be accomplished at nature's pace. Don't worry if things haven't happened before. Don't worry if things seem slow at times. Have patience, keep your focus, and keep going. There's always ebbs and flows where things move slowly, but then things really pick up the pace. And then things may slow down for a little bit, and then they really pick up the pace. Don't be afraid if things have slowed down in your life, or if it feels like it's taking a while to achieve something. Have that patience and keep focusing exactly where you want to go, and trust me, that momentum is going to build. So journey, branch out to new worlds. If you've been thinking about branching out in some way, shape, or form, if you've been feeling called to expand yourself, to branch out, to do more, to expand yourself, do it. This is a time of journey right now, and it is going to lead you to more growth. When we expand, of course, there's more growth. It's almost as if you're a plant growing in a pot, and let's say you're in a 10-inch pot, but let's say you've taken up that entire 10-inch pot, and you're like, why am I not growing anymore? Why is my plant not growing anymore? Well, it's grown to the boundaries of that pot, but when we journey, branch out to new worlds, when we decide to expand that pot, that will be when it begins to grow again. So that's what you're meant to be doing right now, is branching out, trying new things, doing new things, following where that calling is bringing you, because it is bringing you somewhere where you're going to expand greatly. The 11th house is massively about expansion. It also deals with outer space travel and things like that. It is expanding outside of the norm. So even if people are like, oh, you're weird, you're expanding way out of like what's normal, just be your own leader. That's when you have to be your own leader. You may be expanding out in ways where the people around you don't understand or haven't done before. But that's why you need to step up into that leadership position. And that's why we have so many cards here about leadership. Lead yourself. Okay, lead yourself. Be your own leader. Ask yourself, okay, where am I going? Where do I want to get to? How am I just going to absolutely lead myself in that direction? It's about trusting yourself and knowing that you have the ability to call the shots and to make it happen and to lead yourself to the ultimate success. And that's going to be where you get to carry yourself and build that rapport with yourself of like, damn, look what I've done on my own. Look where I've led myself. I didn't need anybody to show me that way. I made that way. You know what I mean? So that's what you're going for. And that's what Spirit's message is for you today. So my beautiful group number 2s, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up for me. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so my beautiful group number 3s, if you chose this pile, then let's go ahead and hop right into your reading. Okay. Group number 3, we have new beginnings, reverence, and alliance. The message that I have for you is actually a message that came up for a little bit within the last group. So I would not be surprised if some of you were also drawn to the second group, just because there's a slightly similar message that came up for a very small portion of that group as well. But for you, it's like your main message in this group. So your main message that Spirit has for you is to look at those that you admire. There are people that you may look up to, or you may really appreciate certain qualities in some people. You may be like, oh, I really love the way that that person speaks, or, you know, I really love that energy that that person shares, or the leadership that that person has, the confidence that they have, whatever it may be. There's certain qualities that you look up to in other people that you may have some deep respect for and you really admire. Spirit wants you to know that any time that you admire something within another person, anytime that it gives you an emotional feeling, it is because you possess those qualities within yourself. That's why it resonates with you. Resonance is when two vibrations are the same and they end up amplifying each other. So when you feel amplified by someone's energy and you're like, oh my God, I really like that, or I'm really inspired by that, that's because it resonates with you. It is bringing about something that you already possess within yourself that may be unawakened or untapped into. So realize that the things that you admire or are inspired by within other people is within you. Tap into that more, bring that out more. What I'm seeing from Spirit is that there is like a new kind of energy coming out for you. And I feel like it's coming out over the next year for you. Over the next year, you are going to be transforming into a more unique version of yourself. And you're going to be tapping into unawakened aspects of yourself that have been waiting to open up. I feel like you are going to be up-leveling your energy to where you are kind of on the same level of the people that you admire. You may not see yourself that way, but your energy is up-leveling to where you may not realize, but you're actually on that same level as the people that you admire. You're on that same level. I also feel like you're going to be making a significant friendship where you may admire certain things in this person. You may be like, oh my God, I'm like really inspired by you. Like you have qualities that I want to embody and become like. You're going to have a friend like this come into your life within this next year, or you may already have them in your life and you may just be getting closer to them over this next year. They're going to be, their energy with you is going to be helping you embody those aspects that you've been wanting to embody. So if you've been wanting to embody confidence, I feel like you're going to have a confident person come into your life where you're going to be learning from them how to embody that, or other types of qualities, other types of different aspects of them that you've been wanting to embody more of. I'm also hearing a message though, that there may be certain people that you are jealous of, and Spirit really wants you to let go of that jealousy and rather see the things that you really like about this person, see the things that you're, jealous by. Because usually when we're jealous about certain things, it's because we're like, oh, I really want that, but I don't feel like I can have that. I don't feel like I am that, right? But Spirit wants to call you to realize that we may be jealous of, someone's beauty, someone's success, someone's confidence. But we are capable of all of those things. And instead of being jealous of them, realize and ask yourself, how can I embody more of that? How can I allow myself to be more that way? Sometimes we're jealous because somebody has what we want. So then we ask ourselves, so instead of being jealous, we ask ourselves, how can I make that for myself? How can I do that in my life? How can I use this person as maybe a role model and become more like that, do more of that? How can I do that? How can I see them as a role model? I don't need to be maybe exactly like them, because maybe there's certain things we don't like as well, but the aspects that we do like, how can we embody more of that into our life so that we don't need to be jealous of it anymore? So that instead, we can look at these things and use it as a roadmap for becoming our best self, giving ourselves permission to be who we really want to be. Give ourselves permission to improve ourselves, become the best that we can be. It's also about realizing that you are capable of creating any life that you desire. Don't restrict yourself anymore. Don't feel like you're incapable. You are completely capable. Let's make it happen and let's find out the ways to do that. Okay? So Spirit's really calling you right now to look at maybe, they're giving me a message of two people that you may, secretly admire, but it may come with a sting of jealousy, like, oh, I'm jealous of their success. I'm jealous of their confidence. I'm jealous of their, life in some way, shape, or form. Spirit wants you to shift that right now. How can we shift that? How instead can we look at that and be like, how can I make my life more like that? How can I become what I desire? How can I give myself permission to achieve those things in my life? And even if you've, had failures in the past that make you bitter about these things, Spirit is saying, let's heal that. Let's have a new beginning. Shed the old things that may be murking up those waters for you. Let's shed it. Let's have a new beginning. Let's forgive ourselves. Let's forgive the past. Let's stick in this present moment and say, okay, you know what? I give myself permission to be my best self. How can I improve myself today? How can I start to love myself more and to give myself permission to embody the things that I actually admire? The things that I actually want to be. How can I become more of that, right? Because you are capable of becoming more of that. And Spirit really wants to make that message clear. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we get. Group 3, what else do we get for you? Ooh, we have the moon being reversed, letting go of fears. There's been some fears standing in the way, some fears of the unknown, fears of judgment, fears of not upholding the same image to, other people that they've always known us by. Sometimes it's hard for us to change because our friends or our family may currently see us a certain way, and therefore we fear changing because we want to uphold the image that they have of us. But how much does that end up actually just not serving us in any way, shape, or form, and it just ends up holding us back from what we want in life? Spirit has a message for you of letting go of fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of rejection. What are these fears that we have that stop us from pursuing the life that we want to pursue? Once we get rid of that, you're going to notice that your jealousy also transforms, and we may not be jealous anymore, and we may just be like, you know what, I really admire that person. Let me just use them as a role model instead. Because it's very interesting that the people that we're jealous of can actually sometimes be our biggest role models, because jealousy is just a form of admiration, but it's just a toxic form of admiration. Once we let go of the fears, once we let go of the walls that we currently have up, because the only reason why admiration can become toxic is when we feel like we're incapable or restricted from achieving what we want, but we see somebody else having it. This is about letting go of that restriction. And it's about letting go of the fear of failure, letting go of the fear of judgment, letting go of the fear of rejection, letting go of the fear of change. Any kind of fear that we may have that's standing in the way. This is about letting go of that. Let's see what else we get for you. So group 3. We also have, we have the Hangman being reversed. It is time to no longer just stay stuck. And the 8 of Wands being reversed as well also gives a message. Both of these cards indicate stuck energy. In what ways are we holding ourselves back out of fear or out of a belief that we're not good enough, or a belief that we can't achieve something, a belief that we're not worthy of it, or something like this? We may have these beliefs which makes our admiration jealousy rather than admiration. It's time to shift that. Realize you are capable. Spirit has an absolute message for you right now that you are completely worthy. Alliance. An alliance is equal parties making an agreement. So how can we make an agreement with ourselves that we're going to see ourselves as equal to anyone that we admire? You are equal to them. Let's have that new beginning where we shed that old skin. We shed those old fears, those old beliefs that have kept us restricted, that have kept us stuck from moving in the direction we want to move in. Oh, sorry. More cards are falling out. I was about to shuffle them and literally more of them fell out. So we're just going to... I was going to shuffle them on camera, but these ones just wanted to come out. So here we go. It's interesting that the Emperor actually came up for the last group as well. So that's really cool. We also have the 9 of Pentacles being reversed, the King of Pentacles being reversed. This reading is really cool so far. I'm really liking how this is coming out. So the 9 of Pentacles being reversed can indicate that we believe we're not worthy of success. It can indicate that we aren't seeing our potential for success as well. Or that we feel like we lack abundance, we lack success. The King of Pentacles reversed indicates that as well. We might feel unstable, we might feel incapable, we might feel unworthy. Spirit is saying you are completely worthy. Let's have a new beginning. Let's have a reset right here. Let us reset these fears, these beliefs, which you are completely capable of doing. How do we heal this? We heal this by beginning to make changes in our life. What are certain actions that would improve your life right now? Is it starting to go to the gym regularly? Because that would be a shift that would begin making shifts in your life that would create a new beginning for you. It would create a new idea of what you're capable of. Should we make changes in what we're allowing ourselves to go after, what we're allowing ourselves to achieve, what we believe is possible for us? You are capable of so much more than you could even imagine. You are even capable, let me put it this way. You are capable of more than what you currently admire within other people. You're capable of more than that. Everyone is capable of so much more than they could imagine. Realize this, and you'll be able to expand yourself so much more than you previously thought. This is a time of healing that jealous wound, realizing that it's admiration, realizing that that admiration comes from a place indicating that you resonate with that. Meaning that you have that energy and that capability within you. It's just unawakened, unactivated. So let's activate it. Let's start acting upon it. That's how you activate. You act upon it. You take action towards it. You start using it. So if you want to embody more confidence, start taking action that indicates confidence. So does that mean, I'm going to wear something that I really love, but I just never thought I could wear it before, and I'm just going to wear it now? That's an act of confidence. That's how we take action upon something to embody it. If we want to feel more beautiful, how can we take an action to make us feel more beautiful? How can we take an action towards success? That's how we activate these unawakened parts of ourselves. We take action on it. That's how you activate. It's taking an action. Okay? Let's go ahead and see what else we get. So, group 3. What other messages does Spirit have? Those ones came out right away. We have healing. Okay. Healing. So you're going to be healing a deep aspect of yourself. This is time to heal those parts of yourself. And man, oh man, the transformations that you can create, the things that you can accomplish in your life when you begin healing these aspects of yourself. You'll be able to harvest, you'll be able to reap the rewards. And trust me, there's a multitude of rewards within healing this aspect of yourself and realizing that you are so capable of these things. As the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me to harvest. I'm ready to receive my all. This is about being in that energy of receiving. We also have authenticity, allowing your authenticity to shine, being open, being vulnerable, allowing your truth to shine. That is authenticity. That's when we let our light shine. So we can be authentic. We can be like, you know what? I actually really admire that. I admire this person. I admire these qualities in them. And I'm going to be authentic with myself, and I'm going to allow myself to go after those things as well, to activate them in myself, to take action on the things that I actually do really want. That's when we're going to notice the biggest shifts, the biggest changes in our life. Let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. Group 3. And we have 3 cards that came out. So we have reclaiming your power. Reclaim your power. Put that crown back on. Instead of saying, I can't achieve this, so I'm just going to be jealous of other people who have achieved it, we reclaim our power by saying, you know what? I'm capable of all those things too. Let me go out and do them. Let me go and step it up. You know what I mean? That is the energy that Spirit's giving me right now. And I don't ever really express this type of energy, but Spirit is literally saying in me, step it up. Let's step it up. Okay? That is the energy that I'm getting. And spirit is like almost like feeling like it's shaking me. And you might even feel like a more like, I don't know, stronger emotion in you. And spirit really is like almost shaking my soul right now, giving the message of step it up, and shake yourself out of the old emotion that was holding you back, the old toxic emotion of jealousy or of feeling like you're not worthy or not good enough. Shake it off and then step it up, okay? Shake off that old energy and let's go ahead and step it up. Be the emperor. The emperor is literally this massive achiever. He sits on his throne. He's the leader. How can you lead yourself to success? How can you own yourself rather than being jealous and wanting the demise of others? You can step up into your greatness without ever stepping on anyone else. So when we're a leader and when we lead ourselves in a way where we uplift others in the process and we're like, you know what, I really admire you. Like, I want to sit on the throne with you. Alliance. That's why we have Alliance coming up. This is not about getting to the top by stepping on other people's toes. You know, we might be jealous of someone, which is actually just a secret form of admiration, by the way. But it's a toxic form of that. But if we want to step to the top at the demise of others, we will never be at the top. That's almost like wanting to be at the top of a mountain, but needing the mountain, like stomping on the mountain so that it's on your level. Then there's no mountain to climb anymore. You're not going to be at the top of anything because everything's just going to be flattened out. We're flattening out everything. Don't get to the top by flattening out things. Get to the top by uplifting others, creating even higher standards, looking at higher standards for yourself, and then looking at things of, I want to uplift others to be at the top with me, because then you can celebrate. That's when you get the time of celebration, but that's also when you get the most success, is when you have the energy of, let me uplift others as well. Let me be on the top. And that's when other people will see how far you've come. They're going to have great emotion towards you, rather than people that are like being stomped on, and then they're going to see you and be like, okay, I don't want to celebrate you. Would you rather have people that want to celebrate with you? Or would you rather stomp on everyone's fire, want the demise of them, and then have nobody that wants to celebrate your success because everyone's just upset about their own, failure, right? So one thing that I'm hearing is to heal the relationship you have with others. Alliance. Realize that the people that you're jealous of are not your enemy in any way, shape, or form. They're instead your alliance. They're the ones that show you what you're capable of. We just need to recognize that within ourselves. Okay? Hopefully that message is coming across the way it's supposed to. We also have the card here of versatility. You are more than you currently think. You have more capabilities within you than you currently realize. We also have self-love. These two also came up for the last group. So self-love, the more that you allow yourself to go after what you really desire, the more that you set standards for yourself and you achieve them, you are going to grow such an appreciation and such a love for yourself that's unbeatable. That is how you create self-love, by asking yourself, what do I really want? And how can I begin to give that to myself? How can I make those things happen? That is when you're going to look at yourself with proudness, with admiration. And it creates this sense of love within us, to love ourselves. Love us for where we currently are as well. You have love. Love is everywhere. We can see love within anything. See love within yourself right now. There's so much love there. And then spread your wings. Go off and do more for yourself. It is going to automatically create a feeling of self-love because you're like, wow, I'm really badass. And then you get to wake up in the morning. This is the same message that I gave for the last group. Not the same in the whole reading, but right now. When you wake up in the morning, and let's say you're doing things that you're constantly always proud of, you're gonna wake up and be like, I'm excited to be me. I'm so excited. I love myself. I'm excited to wake up in the morning. I'm excited to be myself because I'm going after the things I love. I'm doing the things I love. I'm my own biggest inspiration. You can become your own biggest inspiration. You can become that. You can create that. You can create that own individuality where you're so inspired by yourself that you're inspired to wake up in the morning and inspire others. That's one of the greatest feelings in the world, is to inspire others, to give back to others, to help uplift others. But we can only do that when we've learned how to uplift ourselves. And that's where that self-love comes in handy. And we create that by doing things that make us love ourselves. Getting rid of the things that make us self-loathing. What are the things that we do that make us sort of disappointed in ourselves the next day? Let's get rid of that. And let's begin to do the things that bring out that sense of proudness in us. The sense of greatness, the sense of love, right? How can we do more of those things? That's when you're going to build that quality within yourself. And then you're going to be able to uplift others with that. Okay, let's go ahead and roll our Astro dice. Let's see what we get for you. So we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, in Gemini in the 8th house of transformation. Let's transform the way that we've been expanding ourselves. Let's expand our love. Let's expand our versatility. Let's expand our healing. Let's reclaim our power and realize that we're in competition with no one. Because we're unique and they're unique, and we can uplift ourselves. Instead, we can transform all these things to a place of admiration rather than a place of jealousy. We can create alliances with those people that we actually truly admire. We can heal that, and then we're gonna be able to expand so much greater. So much greater. So rather than going backwards, we start going forwards. Rather than stomping down the mountain to get to the top, we just begin climbing. And the view from up there is so much greater than stomping it to a piece of nothing. And Jupiter is that planet of expansion. Let's transform the way that we're expanding. And let's begin to uplift, create beautiful alliances, create beautiful self-love, create beautiful healing where we can harvest and reap the rewards and benefits of our energy and of what we're doing and of our actions. Okay, my love? So with that being said, let's go ahead into our last oracle deck to get any last messages for you. So we have the card of let go. Ooh, what a powerful one. So enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. So let go of jealousy. Instead, enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly. Don't be jealous of the light of the firefly. Look at it and recognize it's totally different, but yet we admire the light because we have light to shine too. And we're capable and worthy of doing that. So let's do it. Let's do that. Let's reclaim our energy. Let's let fear and limiting beliefs, just let it go so that we can reclaim our power, so that we can begin going after the things that we want to go for, so that we can create the life we want to create. We also have the card of caution. Tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. So use caution. Let's not step on toes or fingers to get where we want to go. Let's get where we want to go with love and compassion. I know how corny that might sound, but it's so true and it's so powerful, okay? We also have humility. I love that this card came up for you. This is so relevant. I love that this card came up for you. Humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. So if we ever feel jealous of other flowers in the forest, realize it's actually just admiration disguised. But this humility card helps us heal that. So flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. So it's time for you to bloom regardless if any other flower in the forest is shining. Because let me tell you, there's different people who love different flowers. And your flower, you have something unique to offer the world. You're going to be your own unique flower that is completely beautiful in its own way. And it is not less or more beautiful than any other flower in that forest. It is its own unique flower and uncomparable to any other. All flowers, 10 out of 10 beauty. Okay? So humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. You can bloom regardless of where other people currently are because you're unique, right? We also have resilient as our last card for you. Stay strong as evergreen trees. Stay strong in your power. We don't need to diminish our power. We don't need to feel diminished by anybody else. We stay resilient, we stay strong. We stop paying attention to what everyone else has. And we start focusing on, okay, is there something I admire? And how can I create that for myself as well? How can I allow myself to be that? Okay, my love? So that is what we have for you for your beautiful message, group number 3. I loved how that message came through. I hope it resonated. I hope you got something out of this reading. I am sending you so much love, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. All right, so my beautiful group number 4s, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, group number 4, immediate messages for you right off the bat. So we have the cards of secrets, forgiveness, and flow. Immediately, I felt like the forgiveness card, while it may have something to do with, someone else or a situation outside of you, I'm feeling the forgiveness card is about forgiving yourself when you make a mistake or when you do something that you are like, why did I do that? Or, forgiving yourself. Don't stay stuck on harsh energy for too long, because we end up just kind of beating ourselves while we're already down, right? And how would we like it, for example, if we made a mistake and somebody just kept rubbing it in our face? We'd probably get so annoyed with them and we'd be like, okay, I get it, right? So we have those boundaries usually when it comes to other people. But when it comes to ourselves and our own negative thinking, we tend to beat ourselves when we're already down, and we never really get to a point where we're telling ourselves like, hey, stop it already. I get it. I feel like you understand the consequences of your actions long before you quit giving yourself a hard time about it. And Spirit has a message for you about being easier on yourself. Would you want to live with somebody who constantly reminds you every day, like the second you wake up and right before you go to bed, they're constantly like, remember that mistake you made? How dare you do that? That was so stupid. Would we want to continue to live with that person? If they just kept bringing up things and holding on to it for so long without letting it go? We'd probably get really tired of that relationship really fast. And so this is about setting those boundaries with yourself. Set those boundaries with yourself. It is so essential to your ability to move forward and flow and create. And let me tell you that there is some secret miracles on the horizon as you begin to forgive yourself more easily, as you begin to let go of things easier. Don't be so harsh on yourself. Stop bringing up the past. Would we also want to live with someone who's constantly bringing up the past and being like, remember that time 2 years ago when you made the choice to do this, and my God, how stupid was that? How stupid was that? We're thinking about that late at night. Imagine if we lived with a partner that's whispering that in our ear years later, who's constantly remember that time that you did that? How dare you? And you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I would never do that again. I've learned my lesson. Why are we bringing it up, right? It's time to set those boundaries in yourself. In yourself. Let things go. There is magical energy that's surrounding you. Group number 4, a magical energy. And it's going to begin manifesting more in your life as you begin to forgive and let go, and you start to see yourself as higher and more worthy, and you start to be easier on yourself. There's a flow energy. It's almost like when we're so harsh with ourselves, we're not forgiving ourselves easy enough, and we keep hanging on to things. It's almost like damming up a river, the flow of a river. This river can carry you great lengths. The river is your energy, by the way. We've been damming up our energy by not forgiving ourselves or not allowing us to let go of the past, right? It's been damming up the flow of our energy. Your energy has been building up so strong for so long that once you begin to just forgive and let go, and you allow yourself the freedom and the liberation to just be your highest self and let go of the past, because you're not your past. You're not that same person. There's no point in reviewing it over and over and over again. So let it go. The flow of your energy that's going to come back into your life once you let go of these things, it is going to carry you so far, so far. Also, it's interesting that you chose the yellow flower. The yellow flowers are a symbol of friendship. They're also a symbol of creativity and rebirth and youthful, young energy. It's an energy where we don't have much of a past. We're not looking deeply into the past. We look into kind of like the present moment, and that's about it. You know, we let go of everything else. It's ease, it's flow, right? That's what the yellow color represents. So let's look at who we're being right now, who we're being today. And if we make a mistake right now, today, we learn it, we learn from it, we let it go. That's it. It's as simple as that. I'm also hearing forgiving other people. There may be certain people in your life where we're still hanging on to an old version of them that doesn't exist anymore, and we can let go of that too. Doesn't mean we need to be best friends with them again, especially if they wronged us harshly. Doesn't mean we need to be best friends with them again, but forgiveness is very healing. We can forgive and let go and then move on. Doesn't mean, again, we need to be best friends with somebody who wronged us, but forgiveness will liberate us from the past. So, huge energy is actually waiting for you beyond the veil of this dammed up river. I'm hearing that your life is going to be very different. Very different as we choose to be more easy on ourselves. Your mind will declutter. It's literally like decluttering your mind, your thoughts. Every time you catch yourself, a practical way of doing this, every time you catch yourself thinking about the past and being harsh about it, start laughing and be like, why do I keep bringing this up? Like, I'm so different than I was. Wow, really funny. Okay, moving on. Moving on to the present moment, who I am today, and keep reminding yourself of who you are today, right? Remind yourself of the beautiful ways that lesson may have transformed you, and just laugh. Be more easy on yourself. Laugh. The yellow flower is also about laughter and fun. Literally, that the yellow flowers are laughter and fun as well. Laughter, fun, and play. Be easy on yourself. You can always counteract a negative feeling by just being fun and playful with it. You know, and that's a good way that we can react to anything. If anything negative sort of comes up, you know, as long as it's appropriate, we can look at it in a more fun way and just be like, you know what? Yep, I can learn from that. Like, I actually had this really funny moment with my boyfriend recently. I guess I'll share this story. I never really share personal stories, but this one's really fun, kind of funny. And basically, I was staying with my boyfriend in this really cool area. It was like in the middle of a forest, and he decided to be super nice and put all the dishes in the sink. But when he put them in the sink, this sink is like an old school sink. It doesn't have like a garbage disposal in the sink. It's a sink that you can't put any food down. And he like soaked all these big pots with like huge food chunks in them. Massive food chunks that no way in hell would ever go down the sink. And the sink was just full of like all this food that I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to like fish this out of the sink now. And so I went to him and I was just like, so why is there massive food soaking with our dishes in the sink? Why was that not thrown out prior? And like, obviously my boyfriend could tell that like he made kind of a mistake, and he was so funny. He's like, you know what? I am not the man I was an hour ago, and the man I am now would never do something like that. And although that might not seem super funny to you in the moment, for me, that was like hilarious. I burst out laughing, and I wasn't even mad at all. I was just like, wow, that's hilarious. He's like, the man I am right now, the man I am today, in this moment, would never dream of doing something like that. Because he like learned his lesson immediately. He's like, wait a minute, yep. I won't do that again. So anyway, You can just laugh at things. When we take things a bit more lightheartedly, things are so much easier. So just take it with a lighthearted energy. Allow things to flow. Laugh at yourself. And you can also use that same example. Like if something negative comes up that you're, harsh with yourself about, just be like, you know what? I'm not the same person I was. And the person I am today would never do something like that. And then just laugh about it. Just laugh about it, right? Like we can allow more ease, and Spirit wants you to allow more ease into your life. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. I hope you like these little story time examples. I know sometimes it's just like, sometimes you guys already get the point, but I just love sharing these little like story examples sometimes. But yeah, we also have the Two of Swords. So when we don't forgive ourselves, we end up blocking ourselves. There's an energy that's blocked. You're blocking your heart, you're blocking future potential, and we end up becoming fearful of repeating the same mistakes. So we end up holding our energy back, which is again that dammed up river. There's so much opportunity that surrounds you that we're not seeing when we're focused on the negative. The Four of Cups also indicates that. Like, look at this card. When we're so focused on the things that we don't want, we don't see the beauty that's waiting right behind us. Like this little boy, he's so focused on these cups that didn't bring him satisfaction that he doesn't even see that there's this gorgeous, beautiful mermaid right next to him, offering him another cup and saying, here, take this one. And he's just like, no, look at all these ones that didn't work out. I'm not, he's not even noticing this. So once you let go, this card perfectly describes what we have going on over here, because once you let go of focusing on these, you're gonna be able to see that there was a gift waiting for you right in front of your eyes that maybe we haven't even seen yet, because we're so focused on making a mistake that we don't notice that there's this like amazing opportunity right here. There's this amazing magic right next to us. There's such magic in your energy that already exists. But it's about grabbing hold of that and starting to recognize that rather than recognizing our past faults. Your past faults aren't part of your present anymore unless we keep reenacting them and rethinking about them, right? So just let them go, use the ease, use the funniness, let it flow, and realize that there's beautiful new aspects of you that you are now today, and start living by that. Start living by that. Look at who you are now, right? You're different than who you were. You've learned different lessons. Just be that, embody that, right? Be that new you. Be the new you. So let's see what else we get for you. Also, I want to pull out more tarot cards. I don't know why I didn't pull out more than two. We're going to pull out more, but we're going to go into this deck first, I guess. See, when you're focused on other things, you don't really realize what you're doing sometimes. So we have the Knowledge card. You've learned so much. Instead, look at what you've learned and use it as wisdom, right? See the wisdom within that. There's beautiful things that you've learned that have probably been very transformative. There's also divine guides. Oh, your guides, your spirit guides are like this mermaid that are waiting to take you to the next level. They're waiting to take you to the new chapter of your life. But if we're continually focused on our past, how do we move on to the next chapter? We haven't turned the page yet. Spirit is saying, turn the page, get to the new chapter. There's so many exciting things waiting for you in this new chapter. Let's turn the page. Let's stop rereading the same page. Let's turn the page. So let's see what else we get. We also have true love, come to me. You are so worthy of true love. Call in what it is that you want. Realize that you are very worthy of that. Also start to love yourself. Love your mistakes. Love them. They had purpose, right? Just love them. Love the old part of yourself. We can laugh at things. We also have glamour coming up for you. You've transformed so much, and it's time to start looking at yourself in the mirror and see all the glamour within you. See all the glamour that's within. The amazing qualities of you. Literally look in the mirror. If you have a mirror near you right now, look in that mirror and start to name off all the great qualities of you. Start to focus on that. And then your energy will start flowing in that direction. There is some sort of secret energy It's secret to you just because we're focused on the wrong things right now. But there's like a flow of energy, great energy that's about to bring you in a really positive direction as long as we begin to let go of the past and stop focusing on it. Okay, let's see some other cards that we have here. I'm really feeling these two right now. Okay, 9 of Cups. This is the card of getting a wish. This is literally the card of getting a wish. What do you want in your life? Spirit is like, I will give it to you, but we need to start moving into the future. I also feel like a lot of you, there's like a secret gift or surprise coming into your life within the next 9 months. Within the next 9 months, there's some sort of like gift. This could be like an intuitive gift. This could be like a physical gift. The receiving of something though. You're going to be receiving something, some sort of gift from Spirit within the next 9 months. Or by the month of September is something that I'm hearing as well. We also have Ace of Swords being reversed. This indicates a shift in your focus, a shift in your perspective, and a shift in your way of thinking, letting the old way of thinking die. Or at least shift your perspective around it and begin just laughing at old things. That's a great way of healing and a great way of moving past old things that used to hold us back. So let's see what else we get for you. Group 4, Group 4, Group 4. What other messages do we have for my beautiful Group 4s? We have the Underworld card and the Magician card. Ooh, I love it. Okay, so the Underworld card, if you've experienced, harsh things, pressure, if you've been putting a lot of pressure on yourself, you've actually been sort of transforming yourself into a beautiful gem, but it's time to start seeing yourself as the gem rather than all of the pressure. So gemstones get created deep within the earth under a lot of pressure and under a lot of heat. You've been under a lot of pressure and under a lot of heat in your life, and you've almost been giving yourself that pressure and that heat. And don't be harsh on yourself for doing so, because in doing so, you've created yourself into a very solid gemstone. You've learned so much from this, and that lesson is now your gift. Not that we should continue putting on so much pressure, because if we continue to, we'll just end up cracking, and that's not good either. But realize that you've brought yourself to the point where you're a beautiful gemstone. Start to look at the solidity that you've created in your life because of what you've learned. Realize that it's a beautiful gift that you've now created for yourself. Then the Magician. How can we utilize this to our advantage? How can we utilize everything that we've learned and begin to use it within the process of creation now to create what we really do want? You've created new skills and abilities for yourself through the wisdom that you've learned. Now it's time to utilize that wisdom and use it to create the best future for yourself. Whew! Loving all these cards so far. Let's go ahead into our next deck. Let's see, Group 4. What else do we have for my Group 4s? We have, the Magnetic Heart. You're really drawing in new experiences to you. And the more that you begin to amplify positive energy, the more you're going to begin calling in and magnetizing positive experiences into your life. Wow, this one also came up for the last group. Okay, I feel like we almost need to reshuffle because these ones literally came up for the last group, and I feel like there was still last group energy in this pile. Let's see, what is some energy for my Group 4s? This card is wanting to come out. Move with ease. Move with ease. Don't hold yourself back out of fear of repeating your mistakes. You're not going to repeat your mistakes. Move with ease. Allow the flow back into your life. We literally had the flow card here. It's time to move with ease. Allow yourself to go after what it is you want. Allow yourself to start creating that. Don't hold yourself back anymore. It's time to get out of your own way. We also have Pearls of Wisdom. So we have the Knowledge card, the Pearls of Wisdom card. You've learned so much. It's time to start honoring that. Time to start honoring that. And let's just start moving forward. Let's step into our magician self and let's start alchemizing things. Let's start creating things. Let's start being our best self and be like, ooh, let's utilize all this new knowledge. Let's utilize all these new transformations that you've made, and let's start creating the most badass, most amazing world for ourselves. So let's now shuffle this deck, and then we'll get into our last few things. Let's see, group 4, visions. You have a lot of like intuition within you. It's time to start trusting that. Trust yourself, trust your intuition. Psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing, out-of-body travel. I feel like you tend to not trust your intuition because it may have been wrong in the past, but realize you've developed it so much. You haven't been wrong lately with your intuition. Start listening to it. Trust it more. I'm hearing from Spirit, it's time to start trusting your intuition. Okay? That's a big way to end off those cards. Now we're going to go into Astro Dice and then go into our last spiritual advice cards. So let's go ahead and see what we get for you here. Within the Astro Dice, we have Neptune. I love that, the planet of dreams and fantasy. In Pisces, which is its home sign, in the 11th house. It's time to start embracing your uniqueness, to start getting yourself out there, no longer fearing what people think. I'm also hearing there's something to do with media that you've been holding yourself back from. Like maybe you've been scared to post authentically. Maybe you've been scared to show your real self on social media. Maybe there's something within media that's calling to you, because this is very creative. Media can also indicate like art that you really want to do, or putting yourself out there, putting your creativity out there in some way, shape, or form is coming up within the Astro Dice. What is something creative that you really want to do? It's time to stop judging yourself so harshly, realize that you have beautiful skills, and start to put it out there. You're going to learn as you go. You don't need to, nobody feels like a master when they start doing something. And usually masters never feel like they're masters anyway, even if they are a master in others' eyes. So start to just be you. Realize that you are already capable of going after what it is that you desire. This is time to let your creativity be more open, is what's coming up in the Astro Dice. Okay, so let's see. Any last messages for group 4? That one flew out of the pile. So strength. When your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. Root yourself so deeply in what you desire. Know yourself so well. Get to know yourself so well. Instead of defining yourself based on what other people think of you, define yourself based on who you know yourself to be, who you know you are. Start to use that strength. Know yourself very well. And when your roots are deep, when you're deeply rooted in you, your identity and who you are, you need not fear any storm. Okay, let's see what else. Opportunities. So unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. You don't need to wait for there to be a green light before you start doing something. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. Make your own opportunity and be your own green light. Okay? So it is go time, my group number 4s. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Also, what does that sound? I think somebody's car alarm is going off outside. This is time for us to wake up, unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight, be your own green light. It's time to start going for it. Use your strength, know who you are, and just be it, okay? I feel like that car alarm went off because Spirit was like, hey, the message is not done yet. Keep going. So here we are. The last message for you. If you take anything from this reading, this is about no longer holding yourself back, no longer standing in your own way, letting go of the past, let it go, forgive yourself, realize who you are in the present moment, Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. Even if you're like, well, I'm waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for the right time. No, unfurl like a fern, even without the warm sunlight. It is time. The time is now. There is no right time other than right now. Okay, so it is time to start doing it. It is time to be your own opportunity. Be your own green light. Be your own strength. Create such a compelling vision for yourself that your heart becomes full of that magnetic, amazing, inspiring energy that you just start drawing things to you. That is what your message is, group number 4. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, if you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up to let me know that. And hopefully I see you in my next video. Bye. All right, my beautiful group number 5s, if you chose this one, then this is going to be your reading, so let's get right into it. Okay, so group 5. Going into this, we have illusion, transformation, and potential. Spirit wants to call your attention towards an illusion that you have around your ability to transform your life. I feel like there's some sort of limiting belief that you may have around your ability to change some of your circumstances. This could be like financial changes, career changes, changes in your love life, changes in any one of your current circumstances that you're facing. There's been a cloud of doubt around what you're capable of. There's almost been like a narrative where you've been like, oh, I'm not capable of changing that. I can't do it on my own. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. There's been some sort of doubt like this that's been harboring within you around your ability to create something greater. Spirit is coming through right now saying that you are so capable of changing this. In fact, you'd be surprised at how much potential you have harboring within you. We have double 9s right here numerologically because the 4 and the 5 equal a 9, and then of course we have the 9 right here. The 9s are indicating that you've come to a point in your life where you've kind of like feel like you've reached your highest potential. And it almost feels like you need to restart something in order to reach your next highest. And Spirit right now is telling you that within your current circumstances, you may have reached your highest, but that doesn't mean that that's the limit. You're able to go higher, but it requires a deep transformation, almost starting something new. I'm also seeing the strangest thing right now. So this amethyst crystal over here has this shape on it that looks like a spider, and I can't tell if that's an actual spider. It's not visible on the camera. It's like higher up in the crystal. I'm gonna like check if that's an actual spider for a second. Hold on. Nope, that's just part of the crystal. Okay, there's a shape that literally looks like a spider. I'm taking that as a message for you though, as almost like an animal spirit medicine message. The fact, because I just have not ever seen that before, and it's like just sticking out to me right now. Spiders are the weavers. You're meant to weave a new vision for yourself. When was the last time you took the time to weave a very powerful, inspiring new vision for yourself? In order to get to your next level, group number 5, this is about weaving together a detailed, clear, new vision for yourself that you desire to achieve. What is the clear vision of that? What does all that entail? So rather than just writing down, I want to make $10,000 a month, or writing down like, I want to have a dream house. Like, what is the entire vision of your life? Something that's so clear that it becomes so compelling, so exciting for you that it fuels you with energy to wake up every day and do that thing. Because the only way for you to reach your next highest level is to weave a new vision within your current vision that you've created for yourself. Okay, so think about your life like 10 years ago. Was probably very different than it is today, maybe even 5 years ago. And maybe there were certain things 5 or 10 years ago that you were trying to manifest in your life that you are now living. But it's because you made a clear vision of where you wanted to go, where you wanted to end up. You had a clear vision in your mind of what you were going for. Therefore, you had enough energy and momentum to go for it. You had enough clarity. You've reached your highest potential of your past vision for yourself. Now it's time to become the spider spirit and weave yourself a new vision. Weave yourself a new web. Something that supports the new level and new height that you want to get to. But make it a clear and exciting vision. The more clear you make it and the more exciting you make it for yourself, the more energy and momentum you're going to have behind it. So you need to ask, for you, what is the most compelling, exciting vision that you can make for yourself? And once you create that, that's when you unlock your potential. The illusion right now that you have is that you've reached your highest, that you can't go above from here, that you can't get out of this certain circumstance, but you can. That is a complete illusion. Number 9 is not the highest number, because in numerology, 9 is the highest number, because then when you go to the number 10, you add the 1 and the 0 and it's just back to number 1. But when that's just an up level. Imagine that there's all these different levels that you can reach. I hope this is making sense. If you know numerology, this is probably making sense. If not, this is probably like, you're like, what? But you may feel like you've reached your peak for your current circumstances, and you may think, I can't reach beyond this. You can. There's a new level that you can get to. But again, it's going to require that creative vision. I know I'm repeating myself right now too. I'm in this level where I'm like really judging myself on how I'm reading for some reason. And I'm like, okay, I think I've repeated this message enough times, but for some reason I felt like repeating it that many times. So here we are. Anyway, this is about getting to your next level. Getting to your next level. Letting go of the illusion that you've reached your highest. You can reach so much more than that. Some of you have been a little bit harsh with yourselves lately. And maybe you've been really stuck in your mind and being very critical of like, how can I make change? How can I do this? This is about creating that compelling vision. Creating such a compelling vision that you're excited to wake up and do it every day. You're excited to put the work in every day. Write it down. Writing it down is going to be very helpful for you. And then that's going to be what excites you. The more clear you make it, the more compelling you make it, the more excited you're going to be to wake up every day and work on it. That's how you're going to get motivation. Some of you have been lacking motivation, and you lack motivation because you lack detail. Once you become detailed of what it is that you really want, it is going to become more compelling. Ask yourself, what would excite me? What would make this exciting? Maybe it requires a renewal of something, a rebirth of something, a shift in something. That's going to be what gives you the motivation, because the Knight of Pentacles, when he's reversed, he's not detailed enough. And he might be trying to rush things. He might be like, what's the easiest way to get to the most outcome? You might be burning yourself out, working so hard. But the way that you create more energy behind something, create a more compelling vision, because then you have unlimited energy. You know, when you're so excited about something, for example, I think we've all had that moment in our life where we were texting someone, and maybe we're texting them because we're making plans with them and we're so excited. And maybe it's like a date that we have with somebody we really like, and then they keep texting us throughout the night, and we're just like, we can't fall asleep because we're like, oh my God, they keep like texting me, and like, oh my God, it's like 3 a.m. and we're still texting, like, oh my God. Like, I feel like all of us have had like some sort of moment like that. Or, you know, for example, if we're going on a flight the next day on a vacation that we're so excited about, sometimes we can't sleep at night because we're like, oh my God, I'm so excited, oh my God. Like, you know that feeling? When you have such a compelling vision, when you have something that you're so excited about, the energy just comes out of nowhere. So if you've been feeling burnt out, it's because you are pushing yourself towards a vision that you're not very excited about. But when you can create so much excitement, the energy just pops out of nowhere, and it feels like you could work endlessly. It feels like you could put in the effort. You could have energy out of nowhere and just do it. And just go. Like, if you're so excited about this vacation that for some reason you have to wake up at 4 a.m. for a flight, or 3 a.m. or whatever, you know, you have to wake up in the middle of the night, but you're so excited to do so because you're like, oh my God, like, I don't even want to fall asleep. This is so exciting. But then if you have, you know, let's say you have work to do at 3 a.m. and you're like, oh, I'm really not excited about that work. Like, let's say it's really boring work, like doing the dishes or something. And for some reason you have to wake up and do it at 3 a.m. You're gonna be like, oh, are you serious? Like, I just wanna go back to bed. You're gonna feel really burnt out because you're gonna have to push yourself to do so. The way that you're gonna get over burnout, my beautiful group number 5s, is creating such a compelling vision that you're so excited about. It is going to waken you up to where you wanna put the effort in. The 8 of Pentacles. You're not even going to be distracted. If you've been getting caught up in distractions lately too, it's because you don't have a compelling enough vision. Once you create a compelling enough vision, those distractions are gone. They are completely gone. You won't even care to look at your phone. Because have you also had those times where maybe you're on such a fun date or something that you completely forget to check your phone? You forget that you even have a phone. Whereas normally, if you're kind of just like doing some like boring work or something or whatever, and you're constantly like pulling out your phone, you're like, oh, give me some form of dopamine, please. But if we can find dopamine from other areas, if we can find such pleasure in other things, distractions won't even be on our mind, right? So yes, lots of different messages here. Let's go ahead and get into more. So group 5, what other messages do we have for group 5? Study. If some of you have been finding it hard to focus, again, the compelling vision, there could be something coming up for you too that might be exciting to dive into deeper learning. There may be an opportunity coming up soon in your life to do some deeper learning, and Spirit is saying, if so, take that. If you have a calling to do that, do it. Knowledge is priceless. We also have safe home coming up. Realize that your foundation is safe. Your foundation is safe. Some of you may worry that if you shift things, that it may not be as safe of a road anymore. Your life may not be as reliable. Shifts are always that way. And sometimes we need to make shifts in order to expand and in order to create more abundance in our life. Sometimes we need to do that. Sometimes we need to expand out of our normal shell. Some of us may enjoy our comfort. So it might not even be specifically talking about security or foundation. Safe home can also talk about our comfort zone. We may fear stepping outside of our comfort zone. We've made a comfort zone. And it may feel difficult for us to step outside of that. It may feel difficult for us to do new things. Don't fear it. Step into it. Step into the new things. Think about the excitement behind stepping into the newness as you create that compelling vision. Then you're going to feel safer to expand because you're going to be so excited about it that the fear is just like, I don't care anymore. I don't care because I'm so excited about this new vision that I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to do it. So it's about creating that. That compelling vision is everything for you. Spirit's one answer for you is create a more compelling vision, and it's going to solve all of the things. It is going to help solve all of the things. It's going to allow us and give us the energy to take more action and get all the things done that we need to. So let's see what else we get. We also have the warrior coming up. It'll give you that warrior energy to strive after so much more. I'm also hearing that the rose is sticking out to me. And in the warrior card, it's really sticking out to me too. Fight for what you love. So get something that you love so much that you're willing to fight for it. You're willing to conquer anything to achieve it. So again, that's about that compelling vision. Once you love something so much that you would do anything for it, that's where you're going to find the most success. So you're in that illusion of not thinking that you are capable of something. You have so much untapped into potential. So much. It's about creating that compelling vision. Then your strength literally manifests from there. The strength to achieve. Look, we even have the love card coming up, which is exactly what we were just talking about. That's literally repeating the exact message that I was just talking about. Once you love something so much, once you have such a passion for something, you will do anything to achieve it. We also have sacred destruction. It'll destroy all your fears standing in the way. In a sacred way. Sacred destruction is positive destruction. Destruction that has a positive outcome. And the destruction that has a positive outcome is, of course, the destruction of limitation that's holding us back from our ultimate destiny and our ultimate desires. Fears that stand in the way of us achieving greatness, of us achieving love, all those different things. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. Group 5. Group 5, group 5, group 5. Let's see, I'm really feeling the cards that are, oh yeah, that one for sure wants to come out. Convergence. This is about you. Once you know your direction that you're going in, it'll be much easier for you to mold to that. It'll be much easier for you to know where to go. Akashic waters. I'm hearing that there's going to be some form of deeper study that you're going to be doing. Some form of deeper study. Whether that just be as simple as like reading a book, doing a course, going for a workshop, having a deep conversation with somebody who's like some kind of teacher. But there's some kind of deep learning that you're doing. And you're going to be manifesting the way. You may not see the way of how to achieve your desires or your dreams, and Spirit wants you to know that the way doesn't matter. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to know where you're going. Once you can define where you're going, the way is going to show up more and more over time. We just need to start taking the first step. And then the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. You don't need to see the entire staircase in order to take the first step. Right? That's the metaphor for you. So, that is what we have going on over there. Let's see. Let's go into this deck of cards. Ooh. Water flight. Heaviness lifts. Burdens are cast away. Weightlessness. If you've been feeling a weight on you, if you've been feeling the heaviness of life, burdens are in the way. That heaviness is about to lift for you. And it's going to lift, again, as you create that more compelling vision. And I know I've been repeating that, but that is the most important part of this reading, is creating the very compelling vision. The heaviness will lift. Whatever burdens that you're currently facing, the solution is coming for that. The solution is coming for that. And the solution comes through knowing where you want to go. Then you're going to be able to lift out of your current circumstances and move on to the next level, the next chapter of your life. So that is what we have going on over there. We're also going to take our Astro dice. We're going to roll these and see what we get on the Astro dice. Okay, we have the moon. Ooh, the moon in, is that Scorpio or Virgo? That's Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio in the 6th house. The moon in Scorpio in the 6th house. What are your deepest desires? Ooh, I have a message from Spirit with this. You are meant to, if you want to get to the next level, if you want to create your ultimate dream life, this is about tapping into what you truly desire, what's hidden underneath. A lot of the times our desires can be hidden by a guise of practicality. As we get older, we tend to not allow ourselves to dream in the same way that we used to. So as a kid, we're like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to go swim with dolphins in the Bahamas. I want to go and, we dream so much more. The point is, we dream so much more as a kid. As we become an adult and we have all these beliefs or fears, we stop dreaming in the same way. We start to ask ourselves, okay, what's practical that I want? What's practical that I want? What do I believe is achievable for me? And when we do that, we begin kind of limiting ourselves. We limit our desires. We limit our dreams. A beautiful thing about life is that you can actually create any of your dreams if you believe that you can. That's actually an interesting secret. And I know how cheesy that can sound, but it's actually so freaking true. Spirit is telling you right now to start dreaming like a kid again and ask yourself, what do you really want in life? What do you really want? And realize that you can practically make those things happen. So what do you really want in your life? That Scorpio energy with the moon is asking you to dig deeper into what it is that you truly want and to just start doing it. Dedicate yourself to it. Dedicate yourself to that vision. It requires dedication as well. We can't just like quit because we don't want to do something anymore and we're like, oh, whatever. If you want to actually reach your end goal, it requires a commitment. It requires a commitment. It requires dedication, persistence. Persistence will bring you there, not turning around at the first red light or turning around at the first stop sign or yield sign, right? Because we're not going to get anywhere if we continue to do that. This is about persistence and dedication. Create a vision that you really want to get to and dedicate to it, commit to it, and you are inevitably going to get there. Let's see what else we get for you. That was a lot. Let's go with it. So let's use all the ones that are face up. I feel like all those ones are here for a reason. So we have clearing, make room for growth. Begin clearing the old stuff. Begin clearing the old beliefs or the old fears, because that's where you're going to make room for you to actually grow. We also have change. Falling leaves. I love this card actually. Falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season. Remember that. Falling leaves do not signify the end, but instead they signify the beginning of a fruitful season. That's like the symbol of a tree. Like when you have an orange tree, let's say, first comes the flower, then the flower starts losing its leaves and its petals, but then the orange blossoms. The actual fruit blossoms. So if things are shifting in your life, if you have things falling out of your life, it doesn't signify the end. It's actually signifying the beginning of a fruitful season, okay? Then our last card here, we have be like the woods, calm, soothing, mysterious, and full of life. Full of life. Breathe in. You can even do nature bathing. In Japanese, it's called shirin-yoku. I probably pronounced that way wrong, but shirin-yoku, something like that, indicates forest bathing, where we kind of go in the forest and we're bathed by the energy of nature. So be calm, soothing, mysterious, and full of life. Allow nature to energize you. Even getting out in nature, getting out of the house, going somewhere where you haven't been before opens up channels of creativity. Nature's so diverse, and when we put ourselves somewhere where we haven't been before, we're able to think outside of the box. It can give us ideas because it's shifting our normal way of thinking. It's allowing ourselves to experience something new, which can give us a new sense of inspiration, new sense of ideas. So when you're planning your new vision of life, I feel like another message from Spirit is to go to a park or go to nature somewhere where you haven't really been before. It doesn't need to be like super far away by any means, but just go to maybe somewhere where you haven't been before. Somewhere where it's going to be a different kind of environment. And, sit in that nature. And that's where you can write about your new life. And I bet you're going to think way more outside of the box than you normally would. Sorry, I had to make that joke. I had to make that pun. Okay. Anyway, that is your reading, my beautiful group number 5s. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up to let me know that. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.